So in a recent video, I looked at the Wraith submersible aircraft from Bulbasaur, and it's a flying vehicle for Subnautica, or flying submersible. It can go underwater and can go in the air. Well, today we got a new mod from Bulbasaur. This is the CB. So like other vehicle mods I've covered, you will need the vehicle framework mod for this. So make sure you get the newest update for that. And a change that's happened for the Wraith as well as for the CB is Bulbasaur has released the aircraft lib, a library file for mods that people are using to make flying vehicles. So you will need that both for the CB and for the Wraith now. So here we are looking at the CB, the funky chunky CB. And it's not that bad in terms of material requirements. All right, here we go. We've got the CB, and I noticed it had what looked to be landing gear that disappeared when it went in the water. So it's actually different looking. And oh, yeah, we gotta go in there to get the upgrades. Okay, so we've got 6 upgrades. Means it should, of course, take the modded upgrades. And there's a battery. Okay. And yep, another battery. So we see 2 batteries, and that's it. No storage. It's a tiny little vehicle. Oh, that's different. Yeah, look at that. Now it's definitely not as fast moving like with where the vehicles were before, where you just go and do like all over the place super fast. It's definitely slower. In terms of turning, at least. The target style. Well, let's see. And go out of the water. Yeah, okay. Yes, all right. So the Wraith, you actually had to shift between 2 different engine modes. And with the CB, it doesn't seem to require that. But if you stop moving, it's the same thing. It stops flying. So you got to keep moving. Otherwise, you're just going to sink slowly down into the water. So it seems underwater or in the air doesn't seem to matter. It's using pretty much a consistent amount of power, and it is, you know, 2 power cells, generic power cells. It is draining fairly quickly. You know, this is not fly everywhere just endlessly. I mean, but you see how quickly I am moving. Now, I'm going to say I'm not the biggest fan of the control style for this. Definitely not a fan of this. I mean, for the flying mode, I get it. You know, it's kind of like it works for the flying mode, but for submersible, no. And how am I going to get... Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the of the mechanic here. I'm trying to get myself righted up, and instead I'm just going all over the place. As I'm doing this video, there's not a lot of info on the CB page itself. Nothing about changing modes or anything like with the Wraith. But the Wraith had a mode change for the engine by hitting F. And, you know, it changed like the engine speed and such. I'm gonna play with this a minute, but I don't see any noticeable change of it. Oh, and yep, I was hoping maybe I could adjust the turn angle by hitting Q or E, like in flying games, where you could roll the vehicle, but no, it just jumped me out of it. And conveniently right there in the void. And yes, I've looked. There's only the vehicle framework options. Nothing about changing controls for it. So I would like to see that updated on the mod that, hey, guess what? If you want, you can change it to the regular control style. Like, I'm pressing buttons. So far, it hasn't done anything. So now I have 2 fully charged ion power cells. Let's see how quickly this drains. This is no upgrades, no extra, you know, things installed in the compartments. You see I have nothing there in the slots. This is just default with the ion power cell upgrade and doing much better in terms of power consumption. You see how much slower is draining from the overall power level. And we're wrecked. Oh, that did not work. Okay, now I am on the ground. And there was a point mentioned on the Wraith. If you hold spacebar, it should allow for vertical takeoff. Which it seems like it's trying as long as you tell it to go forward. But I don't think that's the... No, that's not the vertical takeoff part. That's just me telling it to go forward. And it's like, oh yeah, let's go. Yeah, press the space bar and you hear the engine sound. But it's not doing anything. And if I just press forward or backwards, it moves the same way. So it's like the space bar is not doing anything. So I had to abandon the other CB. It got stuck, like properly stuck. So yeah, new one, got the ion power cells in it. And right now, got 300 on the depth limit for this. We're gonna put some of the upgrades in, starting with the depth module, because I know that's gonna work. That's from the vehicle framework mod. So crush depth is now 2,500 meters. Very excessive. Way more than you need, unless you're just gonna go all around the void. You may want this just for the fact of, you know, controls and ramming into stuff. Keep from breaking everything. So we're gonna do engine efficiency, 545% efficiency. Throw in the speed boost. Speed is 285%. Efficiency is now 260%. So, we gotta do a proper test with this. So we gotta look for a marker where I have numbers, and preferably where I can see it. So we'll go fly into the air. Now, before, this was moving very quickly, and right now it seems to be, I want to say, moving a little faster. It's not like twice as fast. It's not almost 3 times as fast. I'm gonna say it's still fast, but it only seems to be slightly faster. Like the speed boost, like maybe there's a speed limit in the game and we're hitting that limit with this. So it's just like, yeah, you can't go any faster than that. Sorry. And now efficiency wise, it seems to be doing very well. Again, 2 ion power cells. So it's not like I should be burning through power too quickly anyway, but I do have that efficiency boost, of course. If the speed mod is not having that much of an effect, take that out. It's already fast. Even more efficiency will last practically forever. Fly around the entire map a few times before you ever have to stop to recharge. So I gotta try it. Let's see if I can get this to land. And no, if you let off the acceleration, it just seems like it drops you very quickly. Even starting to tap again, just trying to keep my speed up a little bit, is like it was not enough to keep me airborne. All right, here we go. This will be a lot easier with the other control method. I did not make... Again, that's going to be the worst thing for me about this mod right now is the controls. I cannot get lined up enough to even try to land on that platform. It is just too unwieldy with this control setup. It feels like every bit, like everything is, oh, yes, I did it. And I wrecked. Not a smooth landing. Let's see if I can at least... Well, no. Cannot get upright. Okay, so the landing gears don't seem to actually be helping with the landing right now, but you can at least see them. They're just... It's not landing very well. It seems the CB did not appreciate being stuck face down on the landing platform because it crashed the game. So, yeah. definitely make sure you get the newest version of the vehicle framework mod. And again, this will require the new aircraft lib mod, both of which I downloaded at the same time I went and got this. So I am playing right now with what's the current version of each. For that, it has some issues. Definitely is an interesting one, but between this one and the Wraith, I'd just go for the Wraith. You know, it looks a little bit more polished in my opinion, and it's definitely got more polish on the controls, as at least the last time I played with the Wraith. It's a personal thing, but I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of people who agree with me on this. It just does not feel as smooth. But this is, again, the CB little brother, baby brother to the Wraith submersible aircraft, both of them from Bulbasaur. And if you want to check it out, I will have it linked below, along with, of course, the vehicle framework mod and the new aircraft lib mod. And again, you got to make sure you have both of those as well as this in order for this to work.